Ashley, welcome back to the podcast.
Thank you, Matt.
How are you?
Good, thank you. How are you?
Very well, thank you.
That's
Glad
good.
to have you back.
Thank you for having me
It's been
back.
it's just a bit less than a year, maybe 2 or 3 weeks short of a year, but
Yeah, pretty much. First episode. Now, what is it? Episode 34?
yeah.
Gone well.
So 33 episodes later, you're back.
Oh, how good. I literally listened to so many. I was like going through and you know it has a little green dot.
Oh, yeah, the play
I was
button.
like, yeah.
Oh, you listen on Spotify, do you?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you very much for the support.
That's all right. Giving you the views.
Yes, I need
Giving you
all the
listens.
downloads and I need all that to get my rating up on Spotify. So whoever's listening, please go and give me 5 stars on Apple Podcast and what else, Spotify, YouTube. Give me all that.
All of them.
Increase my algorithm. So yeah, we got the UFC on here as well. We got the fight card, so we'll be talking a little bit about that. So yeah, what's been going on? It's been a year.
It's been a full year. I mean, not a lot. Footy takes up majority of our time, and I guess I'm pretty lucky. I get to see you most mornings, and then
What time? Usually it's 5:30. The pre breakfast club.
pre breakfast club. Sometimes 4:30, sometimes 5. But
It's early.
yeah, no, footy, work, couple of holidays here and there. I mean, it's hard with COVID. I guess it sort of ruins a lot of your plans, but you know, it is what it is.
Yeah. Where'd you go away recently? You went down
Went to Lano, so went to Lansland up north.
up north.
Yeah, hour and a half, if that.
Get
But
some surfing or something.
Lockie did.
Oh, you don't surf.
I'm just like a longboard, just
Oh yeah, the
little
big
whitewash,
The foamy.
big wave shit. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I've got no idea. A few of Casey's mates, they're into it a bit, and when we've gone down to Middleton and Adelaide,
Yeah.
and they're like, "Come surfing." I was like, "Yeah, right." But then I'll try to get up, and they're like, "Do a burpee on the board." I'm like, "Mate, I can't. Like, it's
Yeah,
no balance. I've got no balance or coordination."
Nah, Locke, like, he was starting to pack for the trip and he goes, "Which board should I take?" I was like, I don't know. Just they all look the same to me. He goes,
No idea.
"No, well, this does this. This one does this." I was like, just pack them all and you'll use them. And what does he do? He uses all of them. All 4 boards. He just like
Oh,
packed.
really?
Yeah. And he had another 2 at home. And he goes, no, these 4 will do. I was like, whatever. And he ended up using them. So
Yeah,
each
that's
day
so
it was like
strange.
different waves and fucking something else. I don't
Must-
know.
Yeah, for different type of waves,
Yeah.
different type of boards. I guess maybe the feel of it as well. Well,
Yeah.
or something like that.
That's the thing. Like brings
Balance
like
and stuff.
usually one phone, like this like paddle fucking, I don't even know what it is. And then he's got like his other 3 actual fiberglass ones that he always uses.
Oh wow! Is
Talented
he gonna
man.
surf big wave stuff or no?
He does in Bali. Whenever we
Oh,
go to
yeah.
Bali, he will. But I mean, it's sort of hard in Perth.
Yeah.
Unless
Well,
you go really down south.
Flights have opened up to Bali now, so you can go.
Thank God. Thank God.
Oh no, I've been so
I'm so
jealous 'cause
ready.
When everyone was like, "Oh, I was moving to Perth," everyone's like, "Oh, you can go to Bali like every weekend because it's so cheap and that." But like, I've been here for 2.5 years and
COVID.
almost 3 years. I can't do
COVID.
anything.
I know.
Oh.
I'm waiting for the Bali trips to start
'Cause
happening
it's super
again.
cheap, hey? Isn't it?
Yeah, like decently cheap. You go over there and you get a full meal for $10.
Yeah, but
Like-
the flights over there.
Oh yeah, even
Is it-
that. It's not even $200. On a good deal. Yeah. Very, very good. I mean, we would used to go 3 times a year. Just for just for the
Yeah,
sake of
right.
it. Like you might as well.
So you've had a couple trial games and that. Have you pulled up all right?
Yeah,
Nice
actually have,
rules?
surprisingly.
No corkies,
No,
body?
surprisingly, just aching.
aching joints.
Yeah, but that's just usual. My ankles, my knees, same old. But no,
No, you're not old.
hey, mate, 24, getting on, getting on. 25 this year. Nah, but it's been good. You know, like
You don't have bad ankles, do you?
yeah,
Oh, you do.
from netball.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, when I had to stop playing
God, I
footy as a
can't-
kid, went to netball and just my ankles roll. I walk and they just roll.
Yeah, right. Netball is a wild game because there's that mass amount of deceleration. You have to just stop on a dime.
Yeah,
And actually, Ella, I can't remember what podcast she was on. A couple of months, maybe 6 months ago, she actually did an ACL, and how she did it, she just had she full jumped, and then she would have gone covered a couple of meters in the air, and then as she landed, collapsed,
yeah,
and it's just like no shit, like that's just the recipe to happen, you know. The same thing like with AFL too. How they do so many hamstrings when they bend over
yeah.
at full speed and all that. Like they get a little bit of a nudge in the back, and bang, there goes your hamstring. That's just a recipe for disaster.
Yeah,
Netball.
well, it was like same with netball. Whenever you go to catch the ball, if you land on someone's foot,
Oh,
because
yeah.
you're mid-air, you can't stop, and it just rolls,
It's
rolls
bad luck,
rolls
eh?
off someone else's foot.
Real
So
bad luck. I went back to sparring. I guess I took a couple of weeks off just to organize shit and stuff. First, so been doing a couple of sessions a week, which is just pads. But then this Saturday was the first one back to full contact sparring, and I was like, oh, there's my leg keeps getting chopped up, and I'm just like, oh, that hurts more than what it usually
Yeah.
does, 'cause you don't build up the pain. And then I knocked knees, or like we both threw a kick at the same time, and his knee went into like my like VMO muscle here, like
Yeah.
in the kneecap, and I was corked so bad all day yesterday. I just like as soon as sitting down and trying to stand up, just because there's that knee extensor muscle.
Yeah.
Oh, so painful. And then just walking around, and this sometimes lying down, and then Poppy might just run up and just like knock me,
The queen.
stand right on
The queen.
stand right on my knee, like I like pick a thrower up.
Ditch her across the whole way.
Oh god. So yeah, as you saying, you played Swans 2 weeks ago when you're on
Yes,
camp?
played Swans last week. So we went away to, I guess we went to Waruna for overnight camp. Waruna. Yeah, down south.
Down south. Was that near Busted or something?
No, just before Bunbury. It's sort of like
near Bunbury.
in and then to go back.
Inland.
Yeah, and then out, like back down to Bunbury. It's like
Was that
another
not near a
hour.
beach?
No.
Oh, that's not very like someone from Israel.
Yeah, pretty much.
Usually everything
Always at the
happens
beach.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we went to camp, went to Waruna, stayed at Forest Edge. Pretty much just team bonding. Might as well make a whole trip out of it. So went down there Saturday, arrived at 9 a.m. By 2 p.m. we were on the bus to Bunbury, hour and a bit. Played Swans. Pretty much we played Swans and the Southwest team. But they tried to split it. I wouldn't really say league and Resi's teams, but they tried to make it as fair as possible. So our team versus Swans. So we only did 2 20-minute halves.
Okay.
So we won, which is huge because Swans were undefeated all of last year.
Oh, really? Did they have a full strength team in?
I'd say so. I'd say really like both sides we were missing 3-4 players, but still it's a huge compliment to us considering our last season, and you know, it gives you so much confidence going into round one. I guess we have a bye round one, but round two going into the season. And then the other team went up against Southwest and unfortunately lost, but the contest was great. I mean, it was only 2-3 goal difference in the end, but overall the game and the talent, it was up there. I think the depth of East Freo has grown so much.
It was hot as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was hot. It was hot. It was
Last
like,
Saturday was 40-something, wasn't it? Or 30,
yeah.
39?
So it was like ice towels as soon as you come off.
Yeah.
And then it was straight back out. I mean, we were pretty lucky. It was only 2 20-minute halves. If we had to do a full game, I think it would have died.
Cooked.
Yeah.
So in team bonding, did you do any like games or any of those?
Yeah, we did a couple. I mean, we're pretty lucky. The Forest Edge like camping thing. It was pretty. Think of a massive warehouse.
Yeah.
Dorms, bathrooms, basketball court in the middle. So we're playing basketball. Yeah. So it was basically basketball nonstop, Uno flip nonstop, spot it nonstop, handball. We just the whole time we were on. I don't think I sat down once because it was just either someone wanted to 1v1 in basketball. We're doing we have the similar to the boys. They have shiver groups.
Hey, you got shiver groups as well.
So we've sort of introduced it with the girls club because we're talking to some of the boys and they said how well it works. So we're like, oh,
it does. It works well.
Fuck it. Well, can I?
You can swear as much.
Okay,
as you want,
we're like, fuck it. We might as well do it. So yeah, we've introduced it with the girls and it actually works really well. Really, really well. So we did shiver group.
Are you a shiver
championship.
leader or
Nah.
you just kind of roam around?
Yeah. So we've sort of handballed those responsibilities to other people, which is nice. It takes the load off quite a lot because last season it felt like, a lot.
So talk about that experience. So last year, obviously, you were your first year as captain.
Yep.
How did you feel about that? How did it, like, obviously looking back now?
Yep.
And then going into this year, you looking to change anything?
It's definitely a huge honour and I'm very, very grateful. I think I'm even more grateful this year with the team and the coach that we've got. I'll go on about tempo in a bit, but yeah, last season it was a long, long season. Unfortunately, we didn't make finals, which was the first time I think really ever in East Freo women's history. It was great to be captain. I learned a lot. I had a lot of people backing me up, which was the nicest feeling out of everything. And to have people coming up to me every single game going, it gets better. It's okay. It's going to get better. And I think, you know, when you have girls like Alex Williams, Emma Swanson, Phil Seth coming up to you and always backing you up, and same as Nikki Harwood or Webbo that we know her as, and Steph Walding, you have those girls who have been around the club for years and years always backing you up. But like I said, besides all of that, it was the biggest honour and I never look past it. It's something I always hold so close to my heart. And going into this season, like I said, having our new coach Matt Templeton, or Tempo as we call him. Have you met him?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, he's a great guy. I had him as a state 18s coach. So to be able to captain under him, yeah, like I said, it's even bigger honour this year. I'm so excited. And the way that the team's going, you always talk about teams having something special.
Yeah. And
I know this group, it feels like that 18-19 year where we won back-to-back. There's just something in the group that we're feeling like touch wood. But yeah, like, you know. Yeah, I was like, thank fuck it's, yeah. But no, like the group's got something special. Everyone's backing me in this year, so super stoked.
I mean, I guess it must be pretty important to have a lot of support, like those people who supported you through last year. Obviously, it was a very hard year, and then going in through this year probably makes it a lot more easier, knowing if it is hard, you've got that support as well there for you as well.
Yeah, definitely. You know, I think if I didn't have all those people with me, and especially if I didn't have Hayley, Kate, or Larry last year, the other leaders and vice captains, I think I would have been pretty rough. Pretty rough, to be fair. It was a long year, but like I said, we're all back in it together this year, stronger than ever. So we're all a lot fitter too, which is huge positive. Huge positive.
So your time trials, how much did you improve by in your time trials?
17 seconds.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, very, very happy. So we do two 1Ks now. So instead of the 2K time trial.
So how long is the rest in between?
8 minutes. We go on the 8-minute mark.
Oh, so it's one every 8 minutes.
Yeah, I think it was either 8 minute or 9 minute.
So where'd you complete the first one in?
The first time we did, I did it 4 minutes. Oh yeah. And then 4:10. Okay. And the second time I did 3:47. Yep. And I can't remember my second one.
Oh damn.
I don't know. Oh, ISABs, but no, I was very happy. I mean, even to beat the first one by that much, I was pretty stoked. I mean, I tried to put in a bit of work over that Christmas break, but also enjoying myself probably a little bit too much. But you have to, it's holidays. But I
always find it hard, especially, I mean, what's it like for you when you have to, like, you do that big block of training before Christmas and then you have that break over Christmas? How hard is it to kind of get back into the routine again?
Yeah, it's hard.
Because you don't really have a choice because you got the season coming up.
Yeah, right? Pretty much. I guess that's the biggest difference, between the WAFLW and the WAFL. We start Feb, whereas the boys start April. I guess we still got to keep your fitness up, but it's hard. You go from 2 nights a week training 13K or between 10 and 13K sessions to just doing your own running and trying to stay so motivated. But I guess I knew I just wanted to make this year so much different. Like, it's almost redemption. Like, it makes you so hungry because after not making finals, it almost feeds your motivation to get fit. So if you don't get fit, the same thing's going to happen. And you're only as strong, I guess, what is it? You're only as strong as your weakest person? Is that the saying?
You're strong as your weakest link, I think.
You know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. It's sort of like that. Like, I just have this thing now where I just want to put in 110%. I'm not going to give my 110% if I'm not doing those extras. So I found it hard in that Christmas break because obviously I just wanted to enjoy it and relax. But I guess like we do, the pre-breakfast club.
Mm-hmm. No,
pre-breakfast club.
5:30.
Yeah,
5:30.
Yeah, tried to aim for the 5 o'clocks as the week went on. It started to become a 6 o'clock, then a 7 o'clock, but I was still getting it done. But
well, I mean, if you don't have anything on after, I guess you don't really have. I mean, that 4 o'clock one or the 4:15 by the time I get there and I start, that's only because I have to work at 6:30 and I've got really no time to do it after. So
well, that's the thing, and especially in that December period, it's 36 degrees by 8 o'clock in the morning. So if you don't get up early, you're basically going to die in the heat. Yeah. So again, waking up early is not too much of a hassle for me, which pretty blessed with. I'm glad I can wake up early and be all right.
Yeah, not too bad. On Friday, I went for a run. I did my weights first and then went for a running around 4:45 on the oval. And because it's still dark, it's like getting darker now later into the morning. So it was like 4:40. Usually 4:45 start, the sun just come up. Now it's like dark still. And there's that that's gone, oh shit, I'll run. And I was like, at least it's an oval. I know I'm not going to run off onto the road and get run over. But I was running around. I could hear the sprinklers going. I was like, oh shit, I can't see them, but I don't know. Oh. And then as I was running around, I could kind of see they were running on the hill where the cars could park on. I was like, oh, I'll be right. So I was running through and there must be 1 or 2 pointing out into the oval. and I was running, and I was copped a full cold water straight in the face. It's like that, you know, you hyperventilate.
Yeah.
And I did that, and I was running. I was like, oh shit! I keep going because like I was
Definitely
running, and I was
woke
already
you up in the
wet,
morning.
and I was like, oh god, I might as well keep running now because you can't count running laps if you're gonna cut half the oval.
Yeah.
So, oh god, and then because I was running intervals, and then there was a point where my rest interval was while I was walking through and then there was another one that it squirted me right on my back, and I was like, oh, like you just give you a little bit of surprise kick. I was like, oh god. So you're just mainly those morning sessions, just weights, yeah?
Yeah,
4 times a week?
So we do try and do in 2 gyms.
Mhm.
We're scheduled to do 2 gyms and 2 obviously footy sessions.
Yep.
I try and do Monday, Tuesday gym, Wednesday training, Thursday break, Friday training, Saturday gym. But whenever I can, if I'm obviously not pushing myself being like I need to make it Monday if I'm sore.
Yeah.
Like I'm not being stupid with it, but like I was saying before, we're clocking between 10 and 13 Ks a session.
Mhm.
So we're getting our run in. And the conditioning's bloody hard. Thanks, Sabs. Thank you so much. But like I said, we're so much fitter this year, which
You're so nice. None of those guys ever say thank you to me.
They're just fuck Matt, make us run.
What I did the other day, we were doing our intervals. It was 20 on, 20 off, like up backs.
Yeah.
All shuttle runs. And every now and again, sometimes, like usually I give a 2-1, blow the whistle for the countdown. And then sometimes I would say I gave them a 5-second warning, and then I just blew the whistle. And then there was one, for their 20 seconds rest, I gave them a 30. And then they ran, and then I started yelling just like random, like at the 9-second mark, I yelled out 10. So just to throw them off.
You're the worst.
And then they'll just like,
I fucking hate you.
And then the rest I gave them, then when they came back, I gave them like a bit of a shorter rest to like make it up. But then they all started complaining, and then this is like, well, like you got to play the whistle. Like it's all that sort of mentality. So because umpire's got to blow the whistle when you're not ready, or you're going to have to adjust to things when you're not prepared for, right? So throw that little bit of a mind game in there. Some of them, like they want to, like at the start, they'll start complaining, and then it's like, it's on Maddie's watch. Like it's what I say, you know? You got to do it that way. Yeah. Does Sabs do any of that? Not really.
Yeah. Nice. No, she's very nice. She's very nice to us. But I mean, I think we all work hard enough that she's nice to us. I'd like to think that we work hard. Yeah. But I mean, sometimes we definitely do a lot of hard running, but I don't know. I guess that's something with us girls. We're always saying thank you. I don't know if we were like that with you. I hope we were like that.
You definitely weren't like that with me.
Yeah, just like, fuck Matt. Like, us run so, but appreciate Sab. She puts in a lot of effort for us. So I think it's the least we can do. Nice person.
You know, our guys we'll be doing after every drill, they've been sprinting to the line to get up our high speed. So I'd be like, it's essentially because we use a lot of GPS, we can, whatever I say, I give the coaches like a breakdown of what are the targets for the session. And if we can hit those in the session, then we don't have to do conditioning running at the end.
Yep.
So a lot of the times it's that very high, so the 26K an hour plus zone is always the hardest to hit, because in certain type of drills, you don't really have a lot of space to open sprint.
Yeah.
So we do like a few of our sprints. We do just straight line sprints in after the warm up to get it up, and then sometimes some players might get it in the drills, but a lot of times they do it at the end of the drill, because in the middle of the oval, if you're on a far wing or something like that, it's a full sprint at the end just to get them in, and just increases the intensity of the session overall.
Do all the boys wear GPSs, or is it just some of them?
Seven. So maybe 1 or 2 of the rehabbers, and then a certain line group, so maybe a forward, mid, back, right, key position player.
It's very similar to us girls. I think we have like six girls that wear the GPSs every session or every game.
Have you worn yours yet?
Yeah. Most training.
How many Ks you get?
I don't know.
Oh, do you got to watch, or?
Oh, I was going to say, watch. But they're always 500K out.
Oh, it's
sometime.
a K and a half.
Yeah.
I had a guy where he wore the GPS and his watch was 10, and then, his watch was 10, and then we actually ran 8.5.
Yeah.
Well, he ran 8.5.
Yeah. Well, it's very similar. Like either mine's always down or it's up. So I just go off whatever Sabs. She shoots me through the screenshot of whatever it is.
Well, on my watch, when I'll run, I'll have, say, for example, I might have 4Ks, and then because I'll track this for like my my physiological load, so my heart rate and stuff. It also tracks distance at the same time. If I choose running as a activity, and it would say 4.6, so 600 meters out. And I'm, like, it's on the same arm I was on the different arm, but I'm the same person.
Yeah.
It's always a bit of error.
Yeah.
What satellite it's using, Russian satellite or
Yeah.
an American
What do you
satellite.
think? Like, we were talking about it the other day because, like, I don't know if it goes on. One of the girls was saying it goes on your stride
Length?
stride length or something, and I was like, yeah,
But it's
but
not your legs.
yeah, well, that's what I was like. Surely not, because if someone I mean, I can't really. I'm a small person, and then you go up against someone like Laura who's 6 foot something.
Interesting. Maybe no, it's definitely to do with the error. It's an error of the sampling. So the whatever signal it sends up to
Yeah.
the satellite, it's how many times per second it sends that signal.
Yeah.
Because obviously, if you're someone who's really fast or covers a lot of ground, and in that time you're covering a lot of ground, by the time it sends the signal up, it's missing data.
Yeah.
So that's what happens. That's the same thing. The GPS units, the more hertz, the lower the hertz, the higher the hertz, the higher the sampling rate. So
Yeah.
the more signals it sends, the more accurate it is. So I'm not sure. I think these are like 10 hertz, and then the GPS is like 50 hertz.
Yeah.
So the more 50, I don't know what the conversion rate is, but I just know that it's the higher it is, the more accurate.
Yeah.
So that's about it. That the Allberg, the guy in the black trunks, he's the guy from New Zealand. He's a city kickboxer. So they all kind of have that similar style. They control the cage and look to counter strike.
It's because is this what you do?
No,
pretty much.
I'm Muay Thai.
No? Okay.
I do. Well, I'm not Muay Thai. I train Muay Thai, I should say. So it's more. So it's all stand up, but Muay Thai is different. It's knees, elbows, and obviously fists.
Yeah.
Where these guys, the MMAs, you can do takedowns, you wrestle.
Yeah, everything.
So we just do we do clinches. So I probably won't do one. So like clinching. So essentially, it's just like stand up wrestling.
Yeah.
Stand up wrestling. You can throw knees and elbows.
That's the thing. Like, I love like I was saying to you before, if UFC's on, I'll happily sit down and watch it. I just like, oh, we're just like, oh my God.
There you go. That's a nice takedown.
That's the thing. Like I said, if it's on, I love watching it, but it's not as if like we'll just chuck it on to watch it. Whereas my brother is.
Oh, is he?
Oh, like he knows everyone, knows everyone's.
Well, the co-main event of this fight, Tai Tuivasa is an Australian guy, and he's a big heavyweight boy. And he's going up against Derek Lewis, who's like a Houston native. So they're fighting in Houston today. And it's going to be big. Like, they reckon it's not even going to last like 10 seconds. Like, it's
really?
Big what? It's going to be bang. Like
Aussie to win?
Yeah, all they want the Aussie to win. But Derek Lewis is ranked 3, and I think Tai Tuivasa is ranked like 12, 7 or something. Like his low 10s.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, the high 10s.
I think that the last UFC one I watched, it might have been like Conor McGregor.
Oh, where he broke his leg?
Yeah. I think that, because we spoke about it.
Oh, yeah. I was so flat for like 2.5 hours after that.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh, what is life?
It literally just it just collapsed. And I was like, fuck that.
It's an interesting, because there was a lot of talk after that he actually injured the shin during training camp.
Yeah.
Because there was like a lot of photos coming out of him wearing like a big shin guard and having scans and all this sort of stuff. So interesting like if he overtrained on it, or if he was throwing, because the goal of that training camp was to get Dustin Poirier with leg kicks.
Yeah.
So he was kicking a lot with that leg. So if he injured it throwing a lot of leg kicks in training, and then obviously you get a lot of micro damage in the shins because you're throwing.
Yeah.
You break down the bone and obviously get stronger. If he was throwing it so much, so often, that it wasn't getting enough time to recover, therefore he was getting micro fractures in the shin. And then therefore, obviously, he might have thrown a kick wrong in the fight and obviously broke a bit more, but it turned into a fracture. And then having that weight coming down with that force, then he broke it.
Yeah, I was going to say, the constant impact non-stop.
Well, yeah, you throw kicks on the heavy bag all the time and it hurts. Then obviously you have that break, you might do another session, you might do pads or you come back, and it's just, you got to make sure you're getting enough recovery because it's physical contact. It's going to hurt, especially you shin the muscle too. If you get a cork on the actual, like if you don't kick right and you hit the bone and you get hit on the muscle instead, that's even worse.
Fuck, I don't know how you do it, hey.
Well, hurt my
I
feet,
get like
my
one
toes are all
corky and
gone.
I'm done.
My toes are all gone like this because you might just misjudge a kick. Like I was showing cases, like my toes all like, what's wrong with this toe? She's like, there's a red lump on it. Like that's a bone. And it's because it sticks up like this now. I'm like, oh, I've got my feet up. Because sometimes you might just misjudge a kick and it hit someone in the knee instead of hitting their leg.
Yeah.
Bad. But yeah, I'm not as bad injured as most others. There's a lot of pretty bad injuries that go around that.
Yeah.
head knocks and all this sort of stuff.
Have you had many head knocks or not really?
Oh, I get punched in the face very
Oh,
often.
lovely.
But I I've knocked,
Fucking
like I feel
lovely.
bad. Like sometimes I might knock someone down.
Yeah.
It's not a good feeling.
Yes. Mm.
It's
like
like
when
training partners. And I'm
It's like when we had an intra club yesterday. It's like you got to tackle someone, but you don't want to. Like, you know, when you verse your opponents, you're going in 100%.
Yeah.
But when you're tackling your teammates, it's sort of just like little cuddle, go on the floor. Just like,
yeah, it's different because
it's hard because you
what
don't
we're
want to
doing-
injure your own team because you're going to be playing with them in round 1 in 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's true. Because the time I did it, we're in a shark tank. You know what a shark tank is?
No.
So say you've got a group of 4 and I'm the 5th person. So I'm in the ring and for 5 minutes, every 30 seconds, a fresh person jumps in the ring. So I'm in there for 5 minutes straight and every 30 seconds, a new guy comes in. And I was on the outside and there was another guy in the shark tank, I think it was. Yeah. And he was obviously getting tired.
Mm.
And then the whole idea is that they put a lot of pressure on you. So it's like you simulate a match type intensity.
Yeah.
So you get fatigued and someone's fresh and just try to work on grinding it out. Essentially. Anyway, he was circling. I was on the inside. He was on the outside. So he was circling into the ring. I ended up getting him to the corner. I almost just timed a punch like perfect. Got him square on the jaw and he just kind of like went like down. And I was like, and I was like, oh God, I felt so bad. But he wasn't like knocked out. He just kind of just fell down. And I was like, that's
Rocked him.
I felt so bad after.
Big dog.
That's happened to me though. That's happened to me though before. Like I was the same scenario, but another guy that I was sparring against, he was a bit more experienced.
Yeah.
And the coaches were like, rush him. So I came in and my guard was down and he countered me with a hook and I just went, no, boom. And I didn't get knocked down, but I just felt like I froze.
Yeah.
And had no idea what was going on. But it's like a camera flash. You know when it flashes in your eyes, you're like, oh, that's like
I
not very
couldn't do
nice.
it.
That's what it felt like. And then just after I was just like had the worst headache that night and I couldn't sleep.
Yeah.
Because just
concussion and stuff.
I think so. Have you ever been concussed before?
Yeah, a couple times. But not.
Do you remember what happened?
Yeah, like they're all pretty minor. Like, there's nothing that I've been completely blacked out.
Mm.
I got knocks when it was my first year of league footy. I've just been hit after the bowl. Obviously a bit rocked, but I mean, pretty stupid. I still drove home, slept, did everything I probably shouldn't have done. But and then even last season, you get a couple head knocks, but you just sort of keep going. And it isn't until I got home where I was like, fuck, I feel a bit sick or I got a bit of a headache or there's something quite not right. But you just don't realise really at the time because I guess adrenaline just keeps you going.
Yeah. One of the worst one of the worst things to do, they say, is to have like Panadol or take that sort of stuff after because it masks the effects of what a concussion is.
Yeah.
So if you headache and you take a Panadol, it goes away. You don't know like you had a concussion, so you don't know if it's getting worse, more severe.
Yeah.
If you go to hospital or something like that.
That's the thing. I knew last season I was like, oh, I didn't feel too good. But then obviously the ball's there, so I was like, well, fuck, I gotta go.
Mm.
And then I don't know, like I said, it wasn't until that night I was like, oh, I don't feel good.
Do the WAFLW? Do they have the same concussion rules?
They do now.
It wasn't last year.
I don't think so.
Mm.
I don't think so, but I think it's definitely in now after a couple bad head knocks.
Do you still? So what are the rules now? Do you still have that the lasso free kick? Yeah.
Yeah. So it's
I actually don't mind that.
Yeah. It makes you play corridor a lot more.
Yeah.
Yep. So there's 16 aside.
Creates less stoppages as well.
Yeah.
So then it's a bit more, I guess, free flow.
Free flow. Yeah, and that's it. So 16 aside, 5, 6, 5.
Yep.
I think it's 5 on the bench, I believe. And then if it's heat rule, we get an extra 1 on the bench. So I think that's over because obviously we play in summer.
They don't have that in the AFLW, do they? The extra player on the bench.
I don't think so.
Is it 4 on the bench they have?
I think
That's
so. 5, I think. Don't hold me to that. But then it's a lasso rule. You got to bring it in 10 meters if it's a boundary throw in. What else is there? That's pretty much the only main differences. We've only just introduced the stand rule. Did the boys do that last year?
Oh, didn't you have that last year?
No. So the Southwest did, but we didn't. So they've introduced it this year.
Oh yeah, I've noticed that in the AFLW they're doing that.
Yeah, this year. Yeah. It's pretty interesting. I love
won't
it.
Change much. It will change like the first week, and then coaches will adjust.
Yeah. See, I love it because I just get it and run.
Oh yeah,
So
and you got a good step on you as well, so you can.
little left
Well, yeah, I
right,
think, huh?
little left right.
Left, right,
Mm.
the goose step.
Not that good, but nah, I like it because it does make it a lot more fast paced.
Yeah.
I guess that's what I prefer. Very quick. I don't know. It just opens up the ground so much more.
Do you want to know my theory on how to make the game a bit more exciting?
Yeah, go
Or
on.
create higher scoring games?
Go on, tell me.
Ban tackling.
Ban tackling.
Well, no tackling. Remove that from the game.
Are you fucking well? What do you mean?
Because we're talking about if you want to make a game more fast paced, higher scoring games, less stoppages, because that's what the issue with the game is. There's so many stoppages and it's so low scoring and they're so defensive. It's because there's a lot of tackling and pressure, and coaches are just adjust that way and always play defense against defense.
I guess you
We'll
just
get rid
play
of-
touch football.
Yeah.
Like it ends up just being touch.
Yeah. Either there be less injuries from head contact because I was reading an article yesterday from Adelaide, and Paul Seaman he got a head knock before Christmas and he's only been training non-contact and only able to wear sunglasses outside because he still had such bad reaction to that concussion.
Yeah, well, it was like Emily Burden.
Yeah.
You know Birdo.
She had a real bad one.
Yeah, so she got concussed in the last round of last season, so June last year. And unfortunately, last I heard, she's still having some issues.
Yeah.
So it which is so upsetting and it destroys you because you can't play football anymore.
And in the article, there was a doctor who was kind of working with him, and he was saying that there's about a 6-stage kind of return to play after the head knock. And he's in like stage 3 and it's concerning that he's been taking this long. But he's been saying that it should be kind of compared to like doing a hamstring training, like a 3-week kind of return to play process instead of I think it's like a week or 12 days.
Yeah.
So maybe they should take it out to 28 days. So then you're looking at a head knock, like a soft tissue injury.
A month out.
Yeah. So if you're gonna, so what happens if your player gets head knock? Player got hit in the head the other night with a football and he got a concussion.
Yeah.
So then he's out for 3 weeks. So you have a couple of bad scenarios like that, and you kind of look at it and go, well, okay, well, let's get rid of.
It's hard.
That's hard.
It was like Chelsea Randall. She made a really good point last year where she missed the grand final.
Yeah.
Purely because of concussions. I mean, she's the most like courageous player I think I've ever seen. Well, I played against and seen. And yeah, it's hard. Like she is always concussed or always injured. And it's like someone like her, it's to even miss the grand final, like that's big enough. But I think the bigger picture is your head health, like your brain health. At the end of the day, if you're constantly getting concussed and you're rushing back, it's just going to get worse and worse and worse.
I've said before on the podcast that the AFL should actually redo some research or look into what you can supplement, like taking supplements or doing other things while you're playing to preserve or to kind of help come back from a concussion or kind of maintain your brain health instead of just looking at stuff after or to mitigate like for the recovery process. So like making sure like they do the 12-day return to play, that sort of stuff. That's good. But like what about just coming back and training? Like you take a protein to recover your body. What about taking stuff to recover your brain?
Yeah, well, it would be great. Like, I don't know if they even do it. Obviously never been drafted, but if they took a scan of your brain when you start and then take a photo at the very end and see the difference and where you've obviously there's always some kind of head knock in football, whether you get tackled, it's the impact, whatever it is.
Yeah. You don't always have to get concussion, but there's always
exactly
because it's the rattling of the brain next on the side of your skull. Micro damage, right?
Yeah.
That's the same. There was we spoke about it before. One of the like an NFL, John Welborn, he was an NFL vet and he played left side. He was a left tackle and then ended up getting a scan after he played. He ended up having right side of his brain was damaged because that's what happened. Like
impact.
The impact and just had to, there's a lot of stuff you can do with your diet. Like go into the ketogenic diet. A lot of it works on the blood-brain barrier. So it helps to kind of rejuvenate the brain. So there's that. Taking exogenous ketones to, upregulate that process too. CBD oil helps with inflammation. So obviously when your brain swells up, it's a sign of concussion, helps that come back down again. Another UFC do that a lot as well. I think there was a podcast I listened to with the head of their research department, Duncan French. Don't quote me on what he actually. I think he's the head of something to do with head of performance, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they do a lot of their research. They do on actually brain recovery. Obviously, you get a punch to the face a lot.
Yeah.
Make sure you look after that. So kind of apart from your fists, is what keeps you going. You know, if you can only take a tap on the chin and get knocked out, or you can take a punch.
Yeah.
So the difference of winning and losing, or getting a paycheck for these guys. It's wild. This guy here, I think it was the guy in the black, Phillips. He had this guy got one of the most delayed knockouts you would ever see. He got punched, and then 10 seconds later, he got knocked. Like he just standing there and then just fell down.
Really?
Yeah, it was wild. It was against come to me later when we're not here. But yeah, it was like a good fight. Probably the third round. Halfway through the third round, he copped like a combo, and then went back to reset, and they were both just standing there, and then his eyes just like rolled back, and he stumbled, and then fell over. And the ref was like,
it's so dangerous. Like, but you have
make money, mate. This is how they make their money.
Do you pay attention to a lot of what Jake Paul has been saying?
Yeah. Well, it's true. I don't even think Conor McGregor makes enough money than what he could be making.
Yeah.
That's what. He's a high.
As much as I hate Jake Paul,
I like
it makes some sense in the way that they should be getting paid a fuckload more.
Oh yeah, 100%.
They're literally getting their heads bashed in. Like they have to somehow get paid a little bit more.
Man, the most wild thing is that that cage is locked behind you.
Yeah.
And it's you and the other guy. And then everyone else is just outside that cage. That's what's so fucked up about it. And I think, yeah, obviously all fighters should get paid as much as they can. But because the business model, how it works with the UFC, how they're the monopoly of the MMA world, that they can dictate. Well, they're the only business that controls the contracts, control everything that of the fighter. Like, you know,
Yeah.
if you're football, obviously you play for the Crows or whatever. You get contract from the Crows, but that all money you'll stems from AFL, and they look after you in terms of player association, this sort of stuff. They got nothing.
Yeah.
they're essentially contractors.
Yeah, pretty much. Have you been paying attention much to AFLW?
In terms of
watching games and stuff?
Yeah. I like we're gonna miss today's games because obviously no, Crows. Crows are playing later tonight. Been watching all the Crows games. And I've been catching Freo and a little bit of the Freo games, but I'm trying to pay attention to a lot of the Eagles games as well.
Yeah.
Obviously because a lot of the girls that come on the podcast and stuff. But even if Matty thought, I think Crows would probably make it deep into the finals. Collingwood have kind of disappointed me the last couple of weeks.
Yeah,
I thought they would have put up a better fight against Freo.
Yeah.
Watching that game.
Yeah.
Pretty lackluster. And then last week, who did they play against last week? They lost. Oh, I can't remember.
Yeah, I can't remember either. But I think at the start of the season, I called Collingwood for a premiership. But yeah, I think after Bree did her ACL, it's been a bit hard for him. Because I think they have such a dominant midfield where it was Benici, Lambert, Bree, Davey. And then sort of losing one of them, it obviously brings another strong tagger onto the next best player. So you get rid of one main midfielder. Right. You can't tag three of the best in the comp. But yeah, I don't know. I think it'll be, at the moment, it's looking like a Dockers Adelaide. Top of the table clash will be interesting in 2 weeks.
Lost against North Melbourne last week.
Yeah.
They didn't have, was it Kiara Bowers, was it?
Yeah, missing Turbo and I thought missing someone else. But no, they're looking good. She had
a 2-match suspension, right? So she didn't play yesterday.
Nah, didn't play yesterday or the week before. So she'll be back for the Adelaide game.
Oh, Adelaide here?
Yep. Freo.
I think they're in a hub, so I won't be able to get any of them. I've been talking to a few and I wanted
Surely just do the Zoom.
I don't like doing Zoom. It's better in person.
Mm.
Don't get the same. Like, it's good. Like, don't get me wrong, it's good to get them on the chat, but you miss a bit of a connection. That's not natural to talk to someone through a screen.
Yeah.
You don't get the same kind of, like, it's like a dance.
Yeah.
You talk, I talk, we try to get the conversation,
Slight delay.
And there's always a little bit of delay, and sometimes, the internet might cut out and there's a bit like
yeah.
Give it to that, like, kind of missing a bit, but might just wait till, like, if I move back to Adelaide and set up a studio down there, might get a couple on.
Yeah. That'd be good for you.
Who's your favourite player? You have a favourite
In the
player?
whole AFLW?
Who stands out?
Oh, God. Shit, that's actually a hard question. I like the way... Oh, it's hard. It is so hard. Come back to that question. I have a think about it.
Really?
Yeah, I genuinely... It's hard. I like the way Monique Conti actually...
Who should I call?
Richmond.
Richmond.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's just so quick. Like, quick, can get the hands out, delivers kicks. Like, I don't think I've seen her miss a kick this entire season. She's probably up there with one of my favourites. It's hard. Like, I have a lot of mates that play in the
That's hard,
AFLW.
eh?
So it's like trying to avoid saying a lot of them. But yeah, I'd probably say Conti is up there with probably one of my favourites to watch. That's not obviously Dockers or Eagles.
I find that hard too to try to. Yeah, it's the same because if obviously you had a few on.
Yeah.
Like, you know, when you sit down and talk 2 hours with someone, you're like, oh, I really like that person, and then you try to eliminate that when you try to pick like who's actually in terms of a player and how much they impact the game. You're like, oh.
Well, it's probably either Conti or Chelsea Randall. But again,
what was it like to play like against her? Like, did you know? Could you tell then that she would have been like a superstar?
Oh yeah. Well, she was already a superstar then.
Yeah, right.
It's hard. Like I was a little 16, 17-year-old playing in league with this very elite footballer that obviously we didn't know AFLW was happening, but all those exhibition games were happening and she was still dominating in those. She's, like I said, she's the most courageous player. She would go back with any flight.
Is that what stood out? You played against her?
Yeah, 100%. She was a step above the rest. I reckon by a mile. It's just a shame with all her concussions, injuries, everything that's happened to her. She hasn't had a fluent run like for probably the entire AFL career. It's been either ACLs, injuries, all that kind of stuff.
Well, she came back from a hammy 2 weeks ago and then she did
it again.
She jumped, which is weird.
Yeah.
A hamstring jumping. You don't see it.
Yeah, often.
So yeah. I know a guy who I was talking to. He didn't say much. I was trying to ask him in terms of what she did, because you have to imagine that when they come in, like you would have known they should have been under injury cloud. Like when Stephen May played in the grand final.
Oh
he definitely played with the torn hamstring. But like you played someone like that in the grand final, right? Would you risk someone like Chelsea Randall? Risk her in a round 5 game against who did they play last week?
They played Melbourne. Yeah.
Which is,
Yeah, I mean, it's hard clash, but at the same time, would you not rather? I mean, they're pretty much guaranteed to be in finals. I don't know, but she might have been all right. They might have done all the tests and it might have came back all right, but I guess you don't know
after
until...
After a week of a hamstring, she missed 1 week.
Yeah.
You're better off giving her another week.
Yeah.
And then playing consistently, because now she's going to miss this game. Now she had like a broken run. That might take her a while to get back into it. So
yeah.
You never know.
Never know.
But she might be that good of a player that she could just easily slot straight back in.
Dead set. That's what I reckon. I reckon she's just that good. That doesn't phase her too much. But
how's your Pokemon card collection going? Any new ones?
Okay, so me and Lockie got into an argument because he woke up and I was on my computer and he's rolled over and seen eBay.
What time?
This was at least 11:30, 12 o'clock at night. So I was still awake. He was snoozing, woke up, and I was open on eBay, Charmander, base set 10, like PSA 10. And I was just like, $2,500. Do I do this? I was just sitting there and I was like, I need to do this. And he's just woken up and he goes, shut the fucking laptop. You're not buying this card. But no,
Did you get it?
No, I'm still sitting on the fence. I don't know. Like, I'm such a nerd when it comes to that stuff. Childhood was just 100%. Like, I don't know. It's such a sick collectible, but
I am 100% in agreement with you.
Thank you, Matt. See, Lucky. But no, I think I'll make the purchase, but I'm still on the fence about it. When it was all peak Pokemon, like last year, it was like straight onto eBay, looking on like the packs, the individual packs, and I was like, all right, we can do this $1,000. It's not too bad. It's week's pay. We can do this. I was like, nah, fuck. Like, it just got into a vicious cycle where I was like, I can do this. But no, I've been eyeing it off, but.
And it's it's on. How long left to bid on it on eBay?
Nah, it's like a buy it now type thing. But I don't know if I can. I'm very skeptical because I'm like, do I trust that they've actually? Yeah, like I don't know. I'd love to just go to like an actual collector, but obviously Perth is very small.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I might just pull the trigger and just do it.
So what collection do you have at the moment? How many do you have?
I have a lot of old ones, but they're obviously not the shadowless or like the decent ones. But I've got a lot of old ones. We had
Did you say you had a Blastoise one?
No, I had Kangaskhan.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think you're looking to buy a Blastoise one.
Yeah. So there was a couple on there, but it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money, and I know
it's an investment.
Oh, 100%. A lot of
That's how
things.
you look at it.
That's how that is what I keep trying to tell Lockie. It's all investment. He just sees it as a cardboard card, and he's like, "What the fuck are you going to do with this?" I'm like, "Well, let me tell you."
That's what the handbrake out there says to me.
What?
That's what Casey says.
Oh,
the handbrake.
I was like, "What do you mean handbrake?" No.
She pulls a handbrake up on me.
Have you got any?
She pulls the triggers. No, I want to.
Yeah. No, it's.
I remember watching live the Logan Paul, like we did the unboxing. And I was watching it live, and then
the first one.
Yeah, I can't remember. I think it was.
Yeah.
And I was watching it, and I was like, yeah, cheering and stuff. And Casey comes out, I was like, what are you watching? I was like, damn, Pokemon cards, just like, and like.
I know. I literally did it. And Lockie walks in, and I've got it on the TV. He goes, "Please tell me you're not watching someone open up Pokemon cards." I was like,
"Yeah,
leave the room, and then we're good to go." You don't fucking get it, but no, it's definitely something I want to invest in. I just know once I get started, it's one of those things where I get very much addicted to. If I get one, I want two. And if I get two, I want four. If I want four, I get a whole collection.
I have the same thing, addicted personality.
Yeah.
I'm willing to bet us one. And I don't have the money to keep going.
That's my thing. I don't have the money to keep going. And I've just moved into a rental. So I'm sort of like, need to start being sensible with my money.
Oh, it's about being an adult.
Pretty much being adult now because I live with Larry. Yeah. Larry, Gaz and Laura. So.
How's that going?
Yeah, it's good.
How long have you been there? For 2 weeks now?
Yeah. I mean, it sort of sucked because we moved in and then it was straight to camp all this week. We're sort of still trying to sort things out. And this weekend we had obviously intra-club yesterday.
So what, there's four of you?
Four, yeah. Four. Yeah, the house is huge, which is nice. It's like a 5-bedroom, 2-bathroom.
You got the dog?
Yeah.
Your dog?
No, I wish we had Coco.
Yeah.
But the queen. But we've got Gaz's dog, so it's an Aussie Shepherd. Ruggles, very cute. But yeah, I mean,
who cooks dinner? You all make your own?
Oh, we're all sort of. It depends. Like on that Friday, every Friday we try and do a pasta dish. So, I mean, it's only been 2 weeks, but both Fridays we did pasta. Wednesday, me and Larry cooked steak after training. Monday, I mean, it's hard. Like, we all get home at different times. Some nights someone's home at 7, others home at 4 o'clock. So, it depends. If we all offer, but it depends when everyone's home. Because I still go to Lockie's house, still go to Mum's house, go see Dad. So,
all around the place.
Yeah, pretty much. Haven't settled in really yet, but it'll get there. We'll sort it out eventually.
Do you want to get your own dog?
My own dog? I've sort of got Coco, but I need
I feel like it's not with you.
Yeah, which is a bit. Yeah, it's hard. It is hard, but I don't think I
have the time.
Yeah, I don't think I have the time to give it all my attention. If that makes sense. I'd feel bad, and I feel like it's a lot of responsibility. As much as I love dogs, and I'm such a dog mum, it's very hard because I gotta. I don't know, it's a whole nother responsibility. Well, they just moved into a rental, still and I want to go away more. Okay. And it's all that kind of stuff. Like me and Locke still want to live in Bali eventually. So if I had a dog, it's sort of hard to just be like, all right, I'm leaving for a couple months, be back soon. You know, like I don't know, it's hard. It's a big responsibility that I'm probably not ready for. And if I was to go away anywhere, it's sort of...
triangle. He had a triangle armbar.
Oh, he's done. Won.
You missed it. It was... Ended it. That was wild. I was like watching the eye, one eye there. And he rolled it and he had his knee, his head.
Who was meant to win?
I don't know. I wasn't really...
Don't know this one.
I don't really Wasn't watching the betting on this one.
Fuck.
But this guy with the tats, his leg was getting chopped up. Like his whole calf
Oh, yuck.
shin was all ballooned up. He was throwing low leg kicks. And then they were just scrambling on the floor. You'll see here. He has his leg through his head. So he has a just triangle choke. So like that. And then he pulls on the arm here. And then bang, and he taps. He's going to break his arm.
Oh, fuck that.
Probably see a bit of angle here.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's crossed his legs through his head and then pulls the arm there. Was a guy maybe late last year, after maybe 2 or 3 weeks after the Conor fight. He was in an armbar similar to that, but like he had him across the side, and he's humerus, so the upper part of his arm broke.
Oh, yuck.
Yeah. Jacare Souza. He was actually a black belt jiu-jitsu. Got his arm broken. Humerus broken. Wild. His arm was like dangling outside, but he wasn't like freaking out. Like, Conor was like freaking out. He was just kind of like just laying on the side.
Fucking alive.
Wild. Yeah. I don't think he won't be fighting for a very long time because that's a bad part of the arm to break too because there's so many nerves running through there. So if it breaks and impacts
such a
a
weird,
nerve,
like up the top. Would have thought it would have been here.
You'll have a gnarly scar. They'll obviously have to go and plate surgery.
Yeah.
I think this side they'll do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a gnarly scar. Probably have a nice long one up. Probably 2/3 of the arm.
Yuck.
Yeah. Surgeries?
Surgeries?
Yeah, for you. You got any?
I broke my finger, so that's probably the only surgery.
You had surgery on it?
Yeah, I had to get wires put in.
Ooh.
So, like, little scar there and there. Actually, I'll show you the video, but
How'd you break it?
I went to tackle someone and finger got stuck in their jersey.
Oh.
Dislocated and fractured.
Oh, that's lucky.
Yeah. It was.
We had a guy last year who actually tore the tendon off the top. Oh. So flex a tendon, I think it is.
Yeah.
So the tendon from the top of the finger retracted all the way down to the bottom of his wrist.
Oh.
So he had to have surgery. Obviously, he had a nice big cut.
Yeah.
Here, scar to pull the tendon up. Then you have to stay. What happens is because the tendon ends up the top of the finger bends like this because there's no tendon to flex it. So he was sitting like that. Then obviously had to get it reattached. And what was difficult about it was a bit of the bone came off with it as well. So they had to reattach the bone and the tendon back.
Oh,
to the bone. And then obviously you had to stay. It was like almost a season-long injury because you had to keep it straight and the rehab back took a while because you stuck like this for a while and then you have to like reteach the extensor strength and flexion. Yeah.
So that was pretty much like mine as well because I had the 2 K wires going through. So it was like crisscross and you literally would just.
Your wires sticking out?
Yep.
I hate that.
Yeah, wires sticking out. So I was just like this constantly.
How long ago?
2 years ago, 3 years ago. Yeah.
It was before I got there then.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it was a season before you got there, maybe 2 seasons before you got there. But yeah, it wasn't great. I sort of ran off and was just like, please just put it back into place. And they just said.
Leg kick like that where it kicks at the bottom of the calf. See those?
Oh,
That kick like that. Oh, instant swelling. Holy shit. Jesus. That because the perineal nerve is exposed right there.
Yeah.
And what happens if you hit that hard enough, often enough, that you get this what it's called drop foot. So you can't feel the bottom of your foot and it goes like drops, like it's like floppy because you can't control it. And what happens a lot of these fighters when that happens to them, they just essentially start rolling their ankles constantly. And look, you see his bruise on that leg.
Oh, yuck.
So yeah, you get that drop foot and then obviously the ref stops the fight because you can't even stand up.
Yeah.
That happened to an Australian fighter a couple of weeks ago. Oh, sorry, not a couple of weeks ago. Maybe a month or so ago. He the ref called off the fight because at start of the second round, he was standing up from the stool and the ref was like, oh, like walk to me to like check, and he like rolled his ankle like 3 times. And the ref's like, nah.
Yeah, no, fuck that.
Because if it happens in the middle of the round, you might be right. You just go to the floor and like do your jiu-jitsu on the floor and try to submit him. But what happens if you have to start the fight standing up? So the ref calls like, no, which is wild. So many wild injuries. Drop foot.
Yeah.
It's like a massive corky right on the nerve.
Pretty much. But no, I've been again, touch wood, nothing major. It's really just been my finger that I had to have surgery on. Otherwise, it's just been rolled ankles, knees, just corked all the time. But
this is the fight here. Roxanne Modafferi, he was like 25 wins, 20 losses. So she's had over 45 fights in the UFC. One of the veterans of the game. This is a retirement fight. And she's fighting against Casey O'Neill, who's an Australian fighter. And she's ranked 15 in the women's flyweight division. But half Scottish, half Australian. She's living over in Las Vegas at the moment, training. So yeah, I'm a big fan of her. This is what I want to watch. 8-0, she's undefeated, and yeah, so and obviously Roxanne Modafferi's retirement fight, so it's a big kind of deal. So, yeah. And she's a bit of a Roxanne Modafferi is a bit of a like a geek, like she weighs in with like the Super Saiyan hair wig. Bit of a geek, but Izzy Adesanya is the same too. He's a anime geek. He's actually voiced over a character in a Netflix series coming out soon.
Do you watch much
Anime?
Yeah.
I like Dragon Ball Z, Naruto as well, a little bit. Yeah, but like I've watched the original Dragon Ball, like
like the OG. Yeah.
Like the Dragon Ball when Goku was like a little kid.
Yeah.
Back when they didn't censor it too much, so it was all like hell raunchy.
Yeah.
You know, like Bulma's skirt blew up and like underwear and stuff. That was hilarious. What about you? A bit of anime?
Nah, not really. Hey, I wish I had time to actually sit down and watch
Naruto. It's the best.
Nah, I tried to get into it, but I just couldn't.
Yu-Gi-Oh?
Yes, fuck yes.
I'm still waiting for the Yu-Gi-Oh cast to kick off because I've still got a whole bunch of shit at home.
Yeah. I found some the other day. It was like Yu-Gi-Oh mixing with my Pokemon cards, and I was like, this is fucking weird, but
I've told my mum so many times, don't throw that out.
Yeah.
Because she's cleaned out my wardrobe so many times since I've been gone.
Yeah, left home. She just uses your room
for
something else now.
I left home before I ended up moving here. But like she's cleaned that out so many times. You know, like I went at Nonna's house, their rooms are still like when Dad and all those.
Oh yeah.
So it was the same when they left. Still got all of his old clothes sitting in the wardrobe and shit.
Yeah, Nonna and Nonna's old house was the exact same. Everything was still all the kids' room, all Mum and all my auntie's rooms were just the exact same. Nothing changed until they moved.
Oh,
classic Italians.
You were saying you wanted to move over to Bali.
Yes.
Well, when you're 30 or?
No, we actually wanted to. Yeah, soon. We wanted to do 6 months.
Yep.
Just pretty much in the off season. Just go away. Yeah, I just need change. I think I just hit a point where I was just like, fuck it. I just want to move. I love Bali so much. Yeah. Which, I mean, classic Australian loves Bali, but I mean, we always go to Canggu. Made heaps of mates over there. So, yeah, I don't know.
Is that a hot spot for Aussies to go over there, is it?
I'd say so. It is probably now. We were going a couple of years ago and it wasn't as packed as what it is now, but it's so nice. I mean, Locke surfs all the time. I love Bali. I love the way people are. Yeah, it's so much. I don't know. It's so nice that I could literally just be on the beach all day. By the end of it, because we always go for 2-3 weeks at a time, all the Balinese, as soon as they see me walking to the beach, they're like, get her a chair. And they like,
treat like the queen.
Yeah.
That's what you like.
But, little queen. Nah, but by the end of it, it was, fuck, they treat you so well. But I think that's also because we would always offer like dinner and that to them. So, yeah, but I'd love to live there. I'd love to live abroad for a bit. We'll see what happens. COVID sort of chucked a spanner in the works with a lot of travel. So, I mean, I'm triple vaxxed, but
you got the boosted.
Yeah, got booster, but I don't know. I don't even know if I don't know. You generally just don't know when we can. We can't even go to Melbourne.
Yeah. Have you thought about what you can do for work up there or?
Nah, I generally think I'd just make it as like a holiday thing.
For 6 months. Oh God, I don't know how you can do that.
Yeah, I think we agreed 3 months. Okay. Bargained it down. But no, I could definitely see myself. I mean, we go for 3 weeks normally and it's never enough time for me. So I'm very much like, I'd love to just go there, chill out for a bit, just travel. Yeah.
Read books? Would you read a book there?
Fuck no.
Don't read a book. You're not a book reader.
Nah, I do not have one brain capacity or attention span to read a book. I'm a very big podcast or audio book.
See, I can't get into audio books.
I've only ever, all right, I wouldn't even say audio books. I've listened to one audio book and I reckon I'm a new, like it was one audio book and I fucking loved it. And it was, do you know who Mike Malak is?
Yeah,
Logan Paul's best mate. So it was his drug story.
Yeah.
And it was actually one of the best things I've listened to.
Oh, really?
But I also think because he voiced it.
Oh, he voiced it, yeah, okay.
Whereas I think if you had some fucking old bloke reading a book, it wouldn't have the same impact. But it was a great. You should really listen or read it, whatever you prefer. But yeah, I'm just a big podcast audio person.
What other podcasts do you listen to?
Oh, wish I could grab my phone, but I listen to heaps. Hamish and Andy, Dylan Friends, Happy Hour. So many. Emma Chamberlain. What else?
Gee, that's a lot.
Yeah, I have like 20
'Cause you can at
saved.
work, right?
Yeah, so I listen to them at work. So when I was in the warehouse, I'd just have my AirPods in 24/7, just cue every new episode, go through it. But now I'm in the office, so I just have one AirPod in, still listening to. I'm office bitch now. It sucks.
Because you have to sit down at a desk.
Yeah.
No responsibility.
Yeah. My boss just laughs because like you can go for a walk because he just sees me like getting antsy, just sitting down.
Yeah, I know.
So go for a walk for like 10 minutes, come back, sit down, do more
I'm
office
definitely
work.
saying, when I do these podcasts, I reckon this is the longest time I do. Like I sit down, I have
yeah.
to be engaged. Well, 'cause it's easier because I'm engaged like mentally.
Yeah.
But like if have to sit down and do like work, my brain just goes haywire, and I'm like, I get like a was it restless legs? I get.
Yeah.
I just have to like move around.
I have like underlying ADHD, I reckon, because I need to like move. If I'm not moving, I get frustrated because I'm sitting down for so long. So I just go for a walk, come back, sit
I
down.
definitely think it's like a primal thing, like an instinct that that would have been like a tribal kind of instinct that would have been passed down through generations. Because back in those days, you had to like do stuff to survive, you know?
Yeah.
I'm the same.
Let's see, I was working in a warehouse for 3.5 years and now that's always on your legs, always moving. And now I'm sitting down for majority of the day. So, it's not a bad thing. It's promotion, so always positives.
More moolah, more cash.
Bit more moolah, so can't complain.
Cash is good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Say this is what happens because I have the same thing. Like if I'm standing out working, I can stay a bit more. Like if I'm active, I can stay more engaged.
Yeah.
It's definitely the same. That would have happened when people say, you know, who has ADHD or has something like that. Part of it might be just because he's bored and wants to do like something else and may his attention like get focused onto something else that he's engaged with.
Well, I even find that at footy, if we're ever in the lecture theatre.
Oh yeah. It's only
I'll zone out.
You've got to go like 5 minutes.
I'll zone out and be like, nah, I've got to go. And as soon as we're on the field, that's when I'm like, all right, now you
or
can
unless
talk
the
to me.
coach gives a good like sermon speech.
Yeah.
Like Bill gives a good sermon.
What
speech.
do you
like
mean?
you know when like at a priest he gives his sermon like after he reads the gospel gives teaches like a teaching story.
Oh my
That's
God.
That's what Bill does.
Tempo is he's the most
Can you
like,
tell a story?
oh, fucking oath. It's the best thing. Like pre-game, you're that, like he got us in. Well, and you're starting to speak and he gets more and more and more like hype man. And then he's like, bring it in. And then it's like, then he's just going 100 miles per hour and everyone walked out the change rooms leading into that Swans game. And I've never seen
for a trial match, for a practice
for a pracky match. And we were just like, fuck yes, like, let's go.
Imagine when it's a
actual game.
Round 1.
I know.
Or round 2 for you girls.
Yeah, round 2, which we're versing Swans. So it should be interesting.
That's wild that you're playing Swans almost like 2-3 weeks after you've played a practice match. Usually you want to play, when I'm playing, well, you want the practice match to be someone who you're playing like round 6 or something.
Yeah. No, you should definitely come down. It's the 26th. Yeah, it's at home. 26th of Feb, I would think. I'm pretty sure it is. It's Saturday. 3 p.m. is league. 1 p.m. Resis.
Oh, 3 p.m. league, that's a good time.
Yeah. 11 a.m. youthies. So we're all at home.
Oh. It's been changed. Wasn't it the other way? It used to be like 9.
Yeah, it used to be 10, 12, 2, but I don't know why they pushed it back an hour. But
younger girls have to play in the heat.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. But it's exciting that we're all at home for round 2. So I sort of spoke to Juppy and Marshy and just said, try and get as many people down because we're really trying to integrate both clubs, which is a good thing.
Yeah, that was fun that you did before Christmas, the little...
Oh, the Chrissy do?
Christmas little function thing. That was fun.
No, it was good. I mean, it was hard a couple of years ago. You know, you walk in the gym, you don't even want to... You have your head down. You don't want to talk to anyone. I guess it was awkward on both ends. Us girls didn't want to say anything, but I guess it's the same. The boys didn't want to say anything either, but you got to close the gap somehow. Yeah. It's just, there's no point to make a footy club awkward.
Yeah, no. There's no need to be because you're all there for the same goal. Like you love footy, right?
Pretty much. And it's nice. I think we're trying to get a men's lunch and bevs at Lefty next week. So
cool.
Hope to see you there. But yeah, no, we're trying to integrate it as much as possible. I mean, we're all going to Northampton in April, I believe. So
Yeah, you are.
you not going?
I don't know. I've yet to make my decision yet. Well, I'll have a kid by that stage, so
Oh, true. Congrats.
Well, I bring-
Future congrats.
I'll bring the kid up with me.
Yeah. Nah,
I'm
so
not sure if I want to expose the baby to the Northampton culture.
love Northampton.
I've never been told.
Yeah, neither have I. Went to Gero at the start of the year. No, in December.
Oh, you had to go for the camp or something? There
Yeah,
was something
so
up there.
we set up the women's program
That's
up
right,
there.
yeah.
So I think the men's do something similar where they set up a program for everyone up there. So we did something similar for the girls. It was the first team in the WAFLW to set up something like that.
Oh,
So,
really?
Yeah, so pretty special for us as a football club, but the girls in
Really?
the country,
No other WAFLW team has like a zone. they've set up
everyone
a
has
camp.
zones,
Yeah, but they
but
don't
we
have a
have a
female
program set up there. So I guess major thanks to Brenton. I think he was one of the main contributors to that. So thank you, Brenton. Love you. But yeah, no, it's good. It's crazy to see country girls play football. Like we've just had Julia Teakle from Gero coming to play for East. She's moved.
Is that Bryn's?
I think cousin.
Yeah,
So
I think that's Bowen Teakle's sister.
yes. Yeah, and she's unreal. Like I reckon she's gonna have a breakout season. But
Ooh.
it's just to see how country kids play. It was even when Plugger first came down.
She's Geraldton.
Yep, Gero kids.
I'm
So
trying to get her on the podcast, but she's so freaking busy all the time.
oh yeah, she's busy girl. Always night
Driving
shift.
trains.
Yeah, man, her shift work. Tell ya, but no, it's just the way that they play football. And it's even seeing all the younger girls, how much talent they've got, and they're only between ages of 10 and 16, and they're already unreal. So it'll be interesting. We're getting more and more girls. I think Julia's sister, their whole family moved down from Gero. So I think her name's Tiani. Tiani's in the youth girl side. So it'll be good to see how she goes as well.
That's cool.
Yeah.
It's really interesting to see all the younger girls, like, because now obviously they're getting exposed from such a younger age now, and they'll probably be fast tracked in their development because they're picking up footy up at a younger age and able to have role models now.
Yeah, well,
that's
that's
on TV.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. You don't have to stop playing when you're 12 now.
Mm.
You can actually play from all the way from Auskick all the way through to league football. So the talent's going to grow so much. I mean, you go from, I guess even now you look at the league, it's improved so much just from girls playing from when they were in Auskick all the way through. So all the younger girls coming up now, they have so much talent and basically shit all over the rest of us because they just have the natural talent. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Do you know if you're going to have the girls from like Freo or West Coast come back to play now?
I don't think I'd love to, but I don't know. It's hard. Like they're in hubs at the moment and they're so strict with everything to do with COVID, but as well as I think that their season's starting earlier next season. I think it was
earlier.
Yeah. So there were.
Oh, it was meant to be earlier this year, right?
Yeah.
But then
it got pushed back. Or push forward, push back. So which one do you look at?
Yeah.
But no, I
push back.
I would love to have some of the girls. I mean, if we had the East Freo girls, there's that many playing AFLW, to have any of them back would be huge. But yeah, I don't know what the goal is. We haven't really heard anything. It's hard. Like I said, they're all in hubs at the moment. Whereas last season, if the girls didn't play for Eagles or Dockers, they would just come and play for East Freo.
Yeah.
Whereas now, I think because they're all either hubbing or they don't even know what's happening with the whole COVID bubble.
Yep.
We just don't know. We haven't heard anything. So.
So last time you came on the podcast, you were yet to be asked Uncle Frank's questions because you won the first, and he listened to it a couple of weeks later. So I've got a couple of questions from Uncle Frank.
Go on.
You ready? Have you
Sure. Go on, Frank.
Have you ever wanted to try something but you were too afraid to try?
Not really.
No, that's the easy answer.
Yeah, I know, and that's why I'm trying to think. Fuck, I don't know. Well, before I met Lockie, I'd never had curry. Like, does that count?
Well, you're too scared to try.
Yeah, a little bit. Well, I could never do spice. I don't know.
Really?
But I'm
You're
pretty.
one of those.
Yeah, I'm one of those. Like, but I'm good now. But I don't know. Like, I'm pretty much open to do anything. Like, I still want to go skydiving, want to swim with
Right.
sharks, I don't know,
I don't know about that one. Shark thing.
can't do it.
That can get fucked.
That can get fucked. No, I reckon it would be fun. Like, I don't know, I'm pretty adrenaline junkie. Like, I want to get a moped. Lockie says no.
Yeah,
What
get a
about-
moped. That's just fun.
I know. Like, I don't know. I have no real big fears.
Yeah, nice. Me and a mate, we were at the Gold Coast one year for a strength and conditioning conference, and we were there a couple of days early. And one of the days we were like, we didn't have much to do. We were having like brunch, and like, let's get a higher end like scooters in,
Yeah.
like drive down the coast. Like, yeah. So we hired 6 hours. We drove down the coast, and we stopped off at like every surf lifesaving spot and got a beer, like a little scooter.
That's so
Just
good.
having beers as we go on. And we were driving along the coast, and there was school kids, well, must have been at the beach for the day or whatever. And we were driving past like little scooters, like, yeah, and then they're like waving, and I was like, beep, beep, like,
See, that's my
that shit's
thing.
so
I'd
funny.
love to just fucking get on a little moped. Just
thing on the go is like 50 k's an hour, but like on the
Yeah.
highway, like 100.
So
like,
slow.
fuck.
No. Nah, it'd be so good. Like, I fucking want a moped so bad.
I look so silly too because I'm so big. And this
On
little
this
thing,
little
I had a little
scooter.
green, like fluoro green one. It looks so freaking loud, so outrageous. It's hilarious. I'll show you a video after. I look like a big head
Please do.
because some you have to really have to like push because once you set
Yeah.
the brake, like the stand, you have to kick off to.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I would always drive one in Bali.
Yeah,
And Lockie would be like,
dude, that's wild. You drove one in Bali.
yeah. You just
Yeah, you
don't be a fuckwit, is how I see it. Like, if you drive like an idiot, you're obviously going to crash.
Yeah,
I
but they're
know,
all
look-
fuckwits over there, aren't they? They all drive like them.
I don't know. Changu's quiet. It's not
Oh, okay.
quiet, but it's easy.
is-
There's like one strip that we basically stay on that has everything on it. So, but Lockie always goes, I'm going to give you one shot at the moment. I was like, all right, fine. So I go, and I'm like slowly going out the driveway,
Yeah.
and then it's, wow, like straight down.
And he's like, get the fuck off.
Every time we get back, he's like, you're never driving this again. He's like, if you
Fuck.
crash, I'm fucked.
What's he holding the surfboard off on the side? Is he?
Yeah, we've got like a little surfboard rack. So,
Oh, yeah, right.
but no, he's very much like, he lets me do whatever I want. But at the same time, he's like, if you crash, your mum and dad will kill me. I'm like, I know.
They'll kill you, kill him.
Yeah, pretty much. Because they're like, you made him do it. But
He needs to be the responsible one. You
he's
know,
the responsible one.
yeah.
I'm just the more like, oh, well, let's just fuck around.
Where would you go
whatever.
skydiving? You want to do it here, or would you go somewhere? Like New
Yeah,
Zealand?
probably go here. Probably go. I want to do the one over Roto. I reckon that would be cool. Probably do the Durian one. I don't know. I just see it as if you're going to go skydiving, do the highest one possible, make the most out of it.
Yeah, that's why I want to do it in New Zealand because I reckon that'd be freaking awesome.
Yeah,
They have such a crazy landscape, so green.
yeah. Well, that's why I want to do Roto. I reckon Roto, like going over Roto, been there a million times,
Yeah,
but
but when you go in an airplane and you can see out the window, you get to see the ocean and stuff anyway.
Yeah.
Don't you?
yeah, a little bit.
They sort of wild to know the feeling of what
Well,
it's
yeah,
like
I'd like,
drop from however many feet it is. Up in
Yeah.
the air.
but also like saying before, I'm a bit of an adrenaline junkie. Like anything I can do, I would,
Like roller coasters. Then
yeah. Like, like amusement parks, anything. I'm just
been
like,
to the Goldie.
yeah. As a kid, I haven't been back for a while, but
They tamed down the rides. They're not as wild as they used to, or as like. Not that they were dangerous, but like there was a bit of like if you get one of these things, you're a bit of
Yeah.
a risk. Now they're all safety conscious.
yeah, I think the faster you go, the more excited and happy I get. Like it's weird, like it's bad. Like even like driving, I realize how quick I'm going, and I'm like, oh, let's go back.
My favorite one is the giant drop dream world. You just hang up
Mm,
there,
yeah.
and you get to see out the distance, and like it's real loud. Or what it must be something to do with the engine turning the belt, and then it goes quiet, and then just drops. Oh, it's wild. You don't count that as a takedown? That's a takedown now.
Who's a better
She's been- Oh, I'd say Casey O'Neill's probably been doing pretty well on the feet so far. But you get a takedown like that into the round, pretty big. It
Yeah.
probably neutralizes the round maybe.
Now I have an
Yeah,
actual
even-
question.
Yeah.
Do you actually have an uncle called Frank?
Yeah.
Do you actually?
Just for 100%.
Oh, all
this
right.
is real.
That's all I wanted to know because every time I
I'm-
hear it on the potty, I'm like, does he actually have an uncle called Frank?
I said to him before I went back, it was in November I went back for my brother's birthday. I said to him, I want a photo so I can put photo of you, so I want to put you here.
Yeah, could you actually?
I want to get a few things like, I don't know, like a bobblehead. Maybe like, I don't know if the AFLW do like a bobbleheads. of
Yeah,
few
they
girls.
do of some players.
I might get a couple. Like, I don't know. Surely Britt Benici has one.
Yeah, I think so. I know
Yeah.
Darcy Vetzio has one.
I want to get a few of the girls I've had on. I won't get them.
You've had a couple AFLW girls.
Ruby will have one surely.
Think so. Ask her. She'll probably have something. She'll have something. But I'm going to go watch her today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, I don't know, because you still have to pay after halftime, or do you get it free after halftime? Do you know?
What, the women's games?
Yeah.
No, you probably still have to pay. But yeah, it's going to be shit because you're just going to be waving to her over the boundary. But I mean, it's still something. You still see her. I haven't seen her in feels like forever. 2 years at least.
She came back for a while last year.
Yeah, for a bit.
She trained with you girls for a bit.
Yeah, at the start of the season. Well, it basically has been since the start of the season because then she went back in
October.
Yeah, October because then COVID pushed it back. Yeah, feels a lot longer.
August. No, I think August she went back.
Yeah. Yeah, it feels like forever. But no, it'll be good to see her today. It'll be a good game.
West Coast and Eagles.
West
Coast and West Coast and
Collingwood.
West Coast and Eagles. West Coast and Collingwood.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
I think Collingwood should roll them, but at the same time, it'll be interesting.
It's wild, West Coast, that they've had 3 coaches in 3 years. It's so hard to get any to stabilize the group because obviously you've had a number of coaches that which you don't have any stabilization and you don't have any more whether it's a clear message or not to kind of galvanize the group and playing as a one team, right?
Yeah, I think Eagles, again, I probably shouldn't comment, but I don't know, they've got the depth.
Yeah.
They've got the depth. Yeah. I'd love to see Happy in the midfield. Love to see Mel Caulfield on the wing. But again, that's East Freo girls. So I've seen how they play at East and just want to see them impact in the midfield because I know that they both can really, really well. I don't know. Like I said, it'll be interesting today because obviously Collingwood are super, super strong. They haven't really been performing as well as what they probably should.
Could be in for an upset.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, especially with Eagles being at home. Never know. So
yeah. Mineral Resource Park, warm. Collingwood haven't really played much of the heat.
Yeah, it'll be
hot in Melbourne.
Couldn't do Melbourne. Hey?
I could live in Melbourne.
Could?
Yeah. In the city. I have to live in the city because I couldn't do the traffic.
Yeah.
Into the city.
So my mate, Taps.
Yeah.
Were you at S&C when Taps was here? 2019?
No, it was 2020. Taps. No.
Carly Tabner? No.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So
I don't call it Taps though.
Yeah. So I've been trying to go to Melbourne for so long, but even she was saying for her to get to and from work, some days it'd be 2.5 hours, 3 hours.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, how the fuck do you manage that? I lose my shit after half an hour of going from pretty much Kewdale to Willagee. And I lose it.
I always cut the distance at 30 minutes. If it takes me 30 minutes to go somewhere, then it's too long.
It's way too long. That's pretty much me sometimes after work. If there's traffic, I'm just like, oh, no. Shit day.
It's amazing how much road rage can aggravate you.
Yes.
It's your wild.
Yeah.
You just sit there,
me in a nutshell.
Sometimes you just need to relax. Breathe and get through life.
Woosa.
Take it easy, mate.
Nah. I said woosa.
That's woosa.
Woosa.
Is that what you do for
like
yoga?
Zen? Well, it's like Lockie's the Zen one. I'm very much not Zen.
Is there a name for that? Just not Zen?
No, I don't know. Crazy bitch. But no, it'll be. You got to come to our first game though.
I will. Roxanne Modafferi is getting pieced up. Look at her face. Oh, good sprawl.
Which one's that? The one with the t-shirt in?
One on the t-shirt. Her face is so banged up right now. Oh. Try to land the spinning back fist.
She's the one that's been in it for ages, hey?
Takedown. Yeah. Casey O'Neill was not known for the ground game.
Yeah.
So she's using the fence to get up and she's going to defend up. Yeah. I think Casey O'Neill's definitely won the fight. She's got her back. She's strong enough to get it down.
Such a wild sport.
There's so many different variables, right? Because they're so open. There's so many different things you can utilize from a skill perspective. And it's also how your background in your training as well. So if you came up through, if you're a striker, like a Muay Thai fighter, growing up and then coming into MMA, you've got a massive hole in your wrestling and jiu-jitsu, whereas someone, they might just, and another thing, how UFC, they put you up against anyone they want. There's no, like in boxing, how they take a fighter and they wrap them in cotton wool. They try to get them to an undefeated streak,
Yeah.
and they build them up. They give them easy fights, build them up, give them confidence, get them some experience, and then fight them off like against a championship level
Yeah.
fighter when they're 20 fights. But here, within 3 or 4 fights, they're nice bit of respect showing there. They get him, and it's within 2 or 3 fights, they feed him to the wolves. It's crazy.
Pretty much. It's like I said, it's such a fucking wild sport.
You get into it. You've got to be good in the jiu-jitsu. I always say, especially be like wrestling and jiu-jitsu, be good for footy players, especially for girls. Like, not so much learning, but even when I watch the AFLW, you kind of watch them how they tackle and how they brace for contact. It's so sloppy. It's not compact. And when you see guys do it, probably because they've been exposed to it a little bit longer and they have kind of a body shape and structure that can absorb, brace for contact a bit better than what women's can. I reckon if you jiu-jitsu and wrestling, it teaches you how to roll on the ground, how to kind of brace impact, how to protect your body parts.
Yeah.
But not like, if you've got arm out here where you can take to the ground, you're going to break your arm or you're going to like dislocate your shoulder. But like with their technique, it's all about keeping everything compact so someone else can't take an arm, dislocate it or break it. Or submit you. That's what that's how submit, but you break an arm. That's the whole thing. Case O'Neill definitely dominated that fight. 60 strikes thrown in round 1, 64 strikes round 2, 50 round 3. And because they use 4-ounce gloves as well, there's not much protection between your knuckles and the other person's face. Like we spar with 16-ounce gloves, and sometimes when we fight or when we spar, you can feel your hand go into the other person's chin.
Yeah.
It'd be a
surely she wins.
Unanimous decision.
3.
It's definitely a they break orbital bones.
Oh yeah,
like
there
their orbital bone gets broken all the time. Like the bone that sits behind your eye. They're the one you always have to have surgery. Joe Rogan's not commentating this card. You heard about the controversy with him the last couple of weeks?
What, with the whole COVID thing or what? What's the new? There's something new with him every week these days, so I'm sort of like.
A lot of it was Neil Young came out and was like, "Oh, removing all my music or my whole catalog from the Spotify playlist because I don't agree with their decision to have Joe Rogan on because he spreads misinformation about COVID." And anyway, the long story short, that he never liked Spotify's playlist anyway because they use like MP3 formats, which is not a very good audio quality to have for music, which is why like record players, like having records is the best way to listen to music. So he's never wanted his music on there anyway because it wasn't getting the money and it was bad audio anyway. So he used the Joe Rogan situation to kind of get out of being on Spotify. It ended up going to Amazon Music, which he would have been paid a lot more to do that.
How good.
But then you talk about the way that Amazon treats employees and how, Jeff Bezos makes all this money and then they have employees who have to drive, who put under such strict conditions in terms of timing. So by the time they get a package, like an order, it gets sent to their iPhone, like the worker's iPhone. They have to pack it up, get it shipped and driven to the person's place. That's all tracked through the phone that they get given to as a perk of working at Amazon. So everything's tracked. You can't take toilet breaks, can't do any of that sort of stuff. So, wow.
Oh, the whole COVID topic is touchy subject.
I mean, yeah, it is.
It's like,
it's radioactive. So you can't take any stance because you're going to get taken down.
It's, touchy subject. I try and avoid it at all costs.
I was listening to I think Jordan Peterson said this the other day. It's not being in a group is not bad, but when you assign someone an identity in that group, that's based on that group is when it turns bad. So someone who's like, anti-vax or whatever. So you're assigning, like, say I don't want to get jabbed for whatever reason. Then you say you're an anti-vaxxer. you're giving someone an identity based off what that group
Yeah.
identity is, but it's not really like a position of someone. That's when it gets all messy because you're turning something that's really grey into something that's black and white.
Yeah. Again, such touchy subject. Just get vaxxed, kids. Just get fucking vaxxed.
Yeah. Well, they've been a lot of the fighters who've been like in because so many different states over in America have different policies and laws about vaxing and being able to be in certain places if you double vax and all that sort of stuff. So I think in New York, Madison Square Gardens, there was a few fighters who couldn't fight there because they weren't vaccinated. Because I guess a lot of these fighters have had COVID originally, so why should they have to get vaccinated if they already got COVID? So that's one of the things they do when they retire: leave the gloves in the ring.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, take it off, leave them there. That's the thing, I guess.
True.
So, last question from Uncle Frank.
All right, Uncle Frank, let's hear it.
If money wasn't an object and nothing was possible,
this question. Mm-hmm.
What would you do?
Can I do 2?
Yep. You do anything you want.
Okay. So I'll do like a selfish one and then unselfish one. So selfish one I'll do first. I guess I sort of spoke about it earlier. Have a mansion in Canggu and just live there 24/7.
How many rooms would you have in your mansion?
Fucking multiple, because then everyone could just come over and stay with me. Come join me in Bali. But that would be elite. And then I reckon the unselfish one. Okay. I reckon I would love to find a cure for Alzheimer's and dementia.
Yeah.
That's something, I guess, pretty close to me. Locke's dad has Alzheimer's. And I guess being firsthand being there, it's pretty tough. You lose someone twice. You lose them mentally and then you physically lose them. Yeah. So I'd just love to somehow, if money wasn't an object, just put in so much research to it, somehow find some kind of cure, because that would be the best thing. It's like I said, you lose someone twice, we've lost him once. It's a touchy subject. It's challenging because all you want to do is help them remember something, but they
get frustrated when they can't.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's so adorable because Locke's dad still remembers Locke. So it's really cute because he's lost majority of his speech. Wow. Yeah, so he's lost majority of his speech and his movement, but every time he sees Lockie, it's hello, I love you. Or hello, how are you? Or hello, how's work? Like it's just with Lockie, which is so sweet. But yeah, like I said, if there was a way to find some kind of cure or put in more money to research, that would be the best thing possible. But yeah.
I was listening to a Oxford University debate on meat. So that was the proposition was moving beyond meat, so like a more vegan, plant-based diet.
Yeah.
And then the opposition was a meat-based diet. And one of the women, Michaela Peterson, she was talking about, she was on the opposition, so she was for meat.
Yeah.
So she has a lot of chronic health. She has rudiment, was it? She had arthritis, but like as a child, as a kid, and she ended up going through like a lot of depression and all this sort of stuff because her joints were just like break. She had like ankle replaced, hip replaced, and wrist replaced by the time she was 19.
What from? Just
it was like it's a form of arthritis, but as a child.
Yeah, right.
But it was essentially it's a I can't remember the term, but it's a health condition, chronic health condition.
Yeah.
That attack you. Can't remember what it's called. Anyway, so she eats a meat based diet, so only meat and like maybe butter. I think she had.
Yeah. And
that she was talking about how that kind of helped her joints and helped to get off all the medication and stuff that she was on. And then she cited a resource that said that also has effects on the brain and how eating a lot of meat, because it was a lot of the same thing that like ancestors did in terms of our brain development. It's gone from when we started to use fire to cook the meat is when our brain development skyrocketed.
Yeah.
To be able to, I don't know how they work through that or how they found that out, but it's one of those things that a lot of the connections come from the brain. So interesting subject.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Like I said, everyone please get to East Fremantle on the 26th
Yes.
of Feb.
6th of Feb.
11 a.m. for the youth girls, please. Thank you.
Trying to get support behind the youthies.
Yeah, definitely. Need us the numbers for the youth girls. I wish my parents came to my youth girl games. Like, there's more parents there than players. I don't know where they're like. Even in the intra club, the entire stands were full, which is so
family coming
yeah.
in.
It's so sweet.
Grandparents.
Yeah, it's so sweet. So the more support, the better. Women's footy's taking off, especially East Fremantle's in for a big season. Calling it.
Following now. Follow the Female Athlete Project. Follow them.
No.
Yeah, Chloe Dalton. She plays over at GWS and she played. Well, she was a rugby sevens athlete before that, and she did basketball. I think she was basketball. It was another sport. She's triple sport athlete. So
Rugby.
Rugby, footy, and there was another one.
Yeah.
She's played for Carlton.
Yeah.
And now she's a vice captain at GWS.
Yeah.
She started this Female Athlete Project. Follow them on Instagram. They just highlight all the performances that female athletes do throughout the sporting space. And there was one female who got a silver medal in the skeleton race this morning, the Winter Olympics.
Oh, really?
At least there's something or other. Yeah.
I've sort of been watching the Winter Olympics. I've been it's hectic. I was watching the one where they're on skis and they have to stop, shoot the 5 targets and then keep going.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I haven't seen that.
No, we were watching it yesterday. Me and Gaz were sitting down and she's like, oh my God, Gomesy, quick. And like, literally, I kid you not, they ski. They have to like rest their heart rate, hit 5 targets and then keep going.
That's wild.
Yeah, it's sick, but.
That's interesting. I think they do that by like obviously running.
Yeah.
In the Summer Olympics. Let's take that and put it in the.
Even like I got home the other day and it's like cross country, but they're like running with their skis on. I don't know. It's fucking weird, but I love watching the snowboarding. That's sick. And like the half pipe.
Yep.
That's cool.
They're pretty wild. Like skateboarding in their Summer Olympics, she was pretty wild. Pretty cool tricks. But they're not like how the skateboarding had all the really young kids, like 14-year-old stuff doing it.
Yeah.
You don't get the same in the Winter Olympics. Like you see, surely those wild extreme sports, a lot of the young kids are pretty big on it. But
no fear.
Yeah.
Shit, like no fear.
Well, that's what happens. Like the older you get, the scarier heights get. Because I think it is, because what happens, you get a realization of how important life or the toll of life, like how much responsibility you have to others. Like, shit, I could fall and die here.
Well, that's me with my teeth. I've only just gotten a mouth. I've only just gotten a mouth guard for the first time ever.
Shit, really?
Yes.
Oh my God.
So I was like, you know what? I don't have private health anymore. I can't really afford to lose my teeth.
Because you're not on the family plan anymore?
Yeah, I don't have anything. I didn't realise. And then,
oh my God, that's hilarious.
Yeah, so I was like, fuck, I actually got to start looking after my teeth. So finally got a mouth guard after 8 years of playing football.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
Yeah, so I didn't got to my teeth. So I actually got to start being an adult. I'm growing up. I know. Well, I just never thought especially like I'm starting to play inside mid a bit more. So I got to start looking after myself a lot more because if I'm knocking out my teeth, I'm pretty fucked because it'll be outright payments.
Damn. Can't lose teeth. Bad for your looks too. Imagine that. I know.
Is he in teeth?
One guy that I went to school with, he had like a black tooth because he obviously died because he got knocked.
It's like Luke Jackson. Even last year I watched that when he like lost his tooth in that game and I was like, fuck, I should really invest in a mouth guard. And then it got to like the second part of preseason. It was like the other week and I got like knocked and pretty much like copped a boot to the jaw and I was like, yeah, I should probably get one. It's probably about time, 8 years, 9 years into footy. Still haven't had one, so I thought it was about time. Start looking after myself.
Kay said the same thing to me yesterday because I was complaining about my knee. She goes, fuck, you're not going to be so injured they have to go to hospital because you don't have hospital cover and all this sort of stuff. I'm like,
again, that's
about to walk.
Yeah. We'll deal with it.
I'll force myself to walk.
That's pretty much me with like all the physio stuff. I had a couple niggles and I was like, fuck, I can't really afford to go there because I have nothing to get. I have no like private health to cover it. So wait for that Wednesday, Friday session to get the physios
That's
to look at me.
That's why the lines are so long because you get treated there.
Yeah, please.
That's all the guys. So this guy here, Andrei Arlovski, his first fight in the UFC was in 2008.
His first?
He's 42 years old.
Oh boy.
So he's a veteran. And this guy's beard, or like his whatever he's got going on here, How it's tucked into his shirt. It's because it goes all the way down past his belt. Like that's how long his little
Ew.
dread or ponytail things. So most supposed to have 37 fights. in the
Shit.
UFC.
So
Second most.
is this going to be his 38th?
This
So
is
he'll
38th.
be
I think so.
shit. Is this fight that you were going on about before, like the heavyweight, or
Nah,
nah?
nah,
It's
this
that's
is-
like the main event.
No, this is not. This is the main event of the prelim. So
Yeah.
it's a co-main event of the main card. So yeah. All right. Gomesy. Make sure everyone goes to the 23rd.
26th.
Saturday 26th. I'll be there. Anyone wants to come down, take a photo with me.
Please do.
Need support. So, and you want to shout anyone out before we go?
Shout out to my housemates, Larry, Gaz, Laura.
Bang.
Let's go, Arkwell.
You want to put anyone on blast with a notice? Bad haircuts.
Nah, I'll be nice. I'll be nice.
How about Lockie? Let Gomesy buy that Charmander.
Yes, let me buy my Pokemon cards. But in a way, he's very smart because if I spend $2,500,
You won't be able to use that $2,500 in Bali.
yeah, pretty much. He's the responsible adult. I'm the not so responsible adult who wants to just buy everything.
And play footy without a mouth guard. That's fine.
Pretty much. Look after my teeth. He's been telling me for years as well. Buy a fucking mouth guard. I'm like, nah, I'll be fine. I'll be fine. But probably about time. I'm starting to listen. So actually be a good girlfriend. So shout out to Locke. Love you.
All right, Gomesy. Good honor.
All right.
Pleasure.
Thanks, mate.
Awesome.
Cheers.
Thank you, everyone.